Anyone?
Anyone have a question? Okay,
yes.
right here.
I have a couple, but I'll start with
We'll start with
one. Okay. So, checking in.
Yeah.
I read that. Does it really work? I mean, do you still check in from time to time? And, it's like...
Yeah, yes, checking in. In the book, we talk about something called checking in with each other, which is one of our tips. And we started doing this pretty early on. And, a lot of couples, they wait for something to brew for a long time until they're like, I need to talk to you. And it's kind of like, dun, dun, dun. With us, we try to avoid the big, I need to talk conversation. By every, few days, even every week, once a week, we'll just say to each other, hey, honey, just checking in. How's everything going? And it's an opportunity for you to say things that are negative in the relationship, but also things that are positive. And a lot of the times, Bill and I, when we check in with each other, it's positive. So then when Bill says, I'm checking in with you, I don't feel like something ugly is coming right now. Well, it could be good.
Being proactive rather than reactive. So many couples, and all the experts we talk to, God, they say one of the problems is everyone waits to react rather than saying, okay, what are the potential problems and how can I avoid them from happening? And when you, like you said, when you let things bubble up and bubble up, boy, it becomes explosive and you reach a point of no return. And you want to nip that before it gets to that level.
But for instance, I interrupt Bill a lot. I used to do it a lot more. I've tried to get better at it. Okay. Okay. So I interrupt him a lot, and I'm sorry. But if let's say after tonight we walk out of here and I say to Bill, hey, just checking in. How's it going? How'd you think that went, or something? And Bill might say to me, thank you, honey. I appreciate you weren't interrupting me all the time. And it's kind of like, okay, well, that's good. It makes me feel good that at least he acknowledges the positive things, and we're not always just acknowledging the bad things that each of us are doing. It's very important to also tell each other, whether you're dating in a marriage, what the other person is doing right, too. We never do that. We rarely do that. It's always 90% negative, 10% positive. So when you tell someone what they're doing right, they'll do it more, because at least they know you're acknowledging it.
These tips work. Our friend Paul Rader, sir. Paul, can you wave your hand up? He's in a relatively new relationship. He read this book, and they have never been happier. Am I right? Before we put this out on the bookshelves, Paul read it, he studied this thing, and he follows it to the letter of the law.
Yes, he does. He looks very happy tonight. Any other questions? Yeah. Who came up with what? I don't know how we came up with that. We were at dinner one night.
Yeah, we were at dinner one night in Chicago. We were sitting outside, and it just kind of came to us. And we said, let's just check in, And I give a lot of business talks. I do a lot of motivational speaking in business. And one of the tips in business, that I learned from the Vic guys is being proactive. And why not apply that to a relationship? Because it works in other areas, and certainly it will work in a marriage or in a relationship that you're in. So I think that's kind of how it evolved. Yeah. A friend of ours had mentioned it to us, I think, and that's, and they said, well, this is definitely something we should practice.
Yeah, he kind of mentioned, he didn't say check-in, but he kind of mentioned how he and his wife liked to talk about things ahead, like before they brewed and got out of control. And then after we went home that night, and we're like, okay, just checking in. And what was nice was we realized we were saying nice things about each other. We're also saying good things about each other. Like, I liked today how you were nice to my mom. You were so sweet to my mom. I like that. And it sets a precedent, and it shows the person, oh, okay, I'm going to do that more often, instead of always pointing out the negative, like you said. Yes.
Well, when we wrote the book, we talked to a lot of counselors and experts, but with our marriage, we kind of just figured it out. I mean, we got married a little bit later in life. I mean, I got married in my late 30s, so I think I was 37? No,
36.
36, okay.
He was young.
So, I think we kind of had figured out some of the basics in communication skills. I think that's very important, is how you communicate. Whereas if I got married when I was 21, it may have been a completely different scenario.
You know what it was, too? I think really early on, Bill and I realized, I think we had a little bit of a fight, early on in the relationship, which we all do, or early on in the marriage, excuse me. I remember that. Remember that in the apartment, and we were in separate rooms, and we would walk by each other. and then like, just look at each other, and no one would say anything. And finally, like after 4 hours, Bill's like,
I went and saw a movie by myself.
You went to see a movie by
I've
yourself?
never done that before.
And that's the worst feeling. Like I'm like in my bedroom, like watching TV.
I don't have a friend in the world here. All my buddies are in Chicago. I'm like, what the hell am I going to do?
Oh, that was so sad. What movie did you see?
I don't even remember, but I remember I went down to the 3rd Street Promenade because we live in Santa Monica, and I walked down there, and I went and saw a movie by myself.
But I remember,
kind of weird.
It was, and he told me later that he went to, like once we made up, I'm like, where did you go, by the way, today? Because I remember being in my bedroom and hearing the door close, and I was like, like I was having fake watching TV. I'm like, where did he go? But then I remember he came back, and then we're walking, and it was just like the weird, it's one of those things that I walk by, and I'm like, going to Whole Foods, I'll be back. And he's like, well, I'm hungry. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm hungry too. And it was just like this awkward whole thing. And then finally, we had a long talk, and we realized right then and there, we said to each other, we're like, you know what? I don't like this. This is ugly. I don't like this. We're just starting out our marriage. Do you want drama in your marriage, or do you want a drama-free marriage? Like, what do you want? Like, you got to get on the same page. A lot of people like drama. And if that's not your cup of tea, avoid those people. And with Bill and I, thankfully, we just decided that's not how we want to live.
I think I said to you, though, honey, divorce isn't an option, so
you did say that.
You're stuck with me.
You did say that.
Either get out of this situation, or it's going to be a long 40 years.
That was a good one. No, but he did say that, and that made me actually feel really good. It was like, there's so much insecurity in relationships. We're always scared, oh God, what if one day could he leave me, or could she leave me? I don't know. We always have crazy thoughts in our head. But what was really nice was very early on, Bill did say that. After that fight, he goes, listen, divorce is not an option. You're stuck with me. So let's figure this out. And I liked that. I liked hearing that. And that helped a lot. But also, we really did decide that we don't want to have a marriage, a drama marriage. We, everyone, all of you, we deal with so much trauma on a daily basis anyway, between work and family and friends and everything, that it's so nice to just be able to go home at the end of the day and have a marriage that, the drama isn't there. You know what I mean? Polly, act like you know us, Polly. Come here, Polly. Act like you've seen us before. We made you a star. Selfish.
We got the ink for his paw and everything. Come on, Polly. Oh, boy.
But get on the same page. Have that talk today. I mean, you guys got to be on the same page. Do you want a drama-free, stress-free marriage? And we lean on each other for support. When I'm having a bad day at work, or Bill's having a bad day at work, it's nice to be able to come home to each other and get support, not just more drama.